Welcome to Romance Unzipped, your happily ever after book club. I'm Holly.
And I'm Annie. Hello.
Hi everyone, I'm Holly. This is Sophie.
This is Sophie the dog. Hey, I'm Annie. Today we are reviewing
I Think They Love You by Julian Winters.
Yes, and this is someone who, the book was just published in December 2025, and he has been writing YA young adult novels. So this was his debut into kind of the not new adult, they're in their late 20s. So
Adult romance.
It's in it, yeah.
Mm-hmm. This is a contemporary romance. Takes place in Atlanta, Georgia. It's a male-male story following Denzel Carter, and Braylon
Adams. This is single point of view, and it has alternating timeline. So it's from Denz's point of view. He goes by Denz, D-E-N-Z. And it flashes back to him and Bray when they first meet in college, and then present day, and he's 26, I think. So what are our tropes?
Well, it's a second chance romance, which maybe you can tell from what we just described.
Headliner.
So they were boyfriends in college, and it seemed like they were soulmates and were gonna last forever, and then they broke up. And
Heartbreak.
And it was kind of one-sided. It was Braylon moving to London and leaving behind Denz. And now it's 5 years later, and Denz is in line to maybe become the next CEO of his family company.
24 karat
24
gold.
Carter Gold.
24 Carter Gold. Their last names are the Carters.
It's a nice play on words there.
Mm-hmm.
So he needs to convince everyone that he's a serious man and he can handle the responsibility. So, of course, there's some fake dating.
Yes. So we have our tropes are fake dating, second chance, taking over the family business, slow burn. There's a one bed in there.
There is a one bed. That's my favorite.
And so kind of social media public presence is a trope. I don't quite know the exact phrase for that, but feels like a thing.
Yeah, they're almost local celebrities.
Yeah.
His family is
Like
so well-to-do.
Wealthy, attractive, fabulous. They have a very curated public image. And so they're kind of this like glamorous family business that is...
They're event coordinators.
And they recently hosted a party for the Obamas. Like, they're famous nationally also. So Denz is finding his place in this family as the story goes along. So we said the setting was Atlanta, and the vibe of the setting and the experience of it is wealth that is not like cold or harsh. Sometimes it'll be kind of this like cold, wealthy mansion and like steel structured skyscrapers. And this, it comes through in the description of, the fabulous designer name skirt that the auntie's wearing that isn't even out on the runways yet. Or, I don't know, it's all like high glamour.
It's not generational wealth.
No, it's not generational.
His parents established it in his childhood because they had great success as event planners. So I think that does come across as it's more gentle. They're not exploiting their wealth. They're just really successful people.
Yeah, that's true. And the family is complicated, but it's still loving. It's not this absolute ice house of a family experience. And then Bray is an orphan at this point, an adult orphan. His dad and his mom have passed away. So the setting takes place more inside Denz's world, but also because he's the narrator. And then part of the setting too is the online life of like his interaction with social media and how he's presenting himself and how he's presenting their fake dating and how he's presenting his company. So it's like this kind of
like a dual reality for him.
Yeah, this very like curated perfect image of what he wants people to see, and so that's like part of the setting is his online persona.
Right. It's not just the setting too. It kind of goes with the theme of the book. It was a good profession for him to have as a character because he's struggling to figure out where he fits in, who he wants to be. He just thinks of himself as, oh, I want to be like my dad. My dad's retiring. I need to uphold the family name. And he has a hard time establishing himself as an actual person and not just a family extension.
Yeah.
So that's part of his journey.
He's not the youngest, I don't think. But
he's not, but he
acts like it.
He does. He acts immature, and he's the only boy, the only son, which might have something to do with it. But his older sister is a great side character. Cammy, she is all business and very competent. And then he has a younger sister who has some hijinks. She's in high school maybe, so she's got a little bit of a sharp, barbed mouth, and is a fun side character that shows up from time to time.
Yeah, but so it's overall, the tone of the book is they have feelings and there's an emotional ups and downs and journeys, but also it's definitely a rom-com at heart. Like, this is prime rom-com movie script material. Like, it is enjoyable and warm and carries you along, and they have cute banter, and you know, there's cute little text exchange with the aunties and the family thread. So it is, although there's emotional elements, it's not like ripping out your heart.
It's a pretty light read, and it's not very long either.
Yeah.
So it was a nice quick read.
Yeah.
And another part that I think a vibe throughout this whole book is just queer celebration and positivity. So these two characters are both men, and Braylon's job is he's working at a youth
LGBTQ, I think
hangout place just to help kids that don't have anywhere else to go. So, and the reason he agrees to the fake dating is he's trying to make this nonprofit that he works at be more successful and get the attention of the mayor and get more funding. And so he's very motivated to help these young kids that have come into his life. So the whole book is just kind of a celebration of, this is not, I feel like so many of the same-sex books that we read, there's some kind of element of curiosity or bi awakening or somebody that's coming to terms with their sexuality. There's none of that. These two both characters are established.
I like you.
And they are it's just a celebration.
Yeah, it's really sweet. So what do our two heroes look like?
Well, Denz, it's all from his point of view, but he does a really good job of describing himself. Julian Winters so Denz is a social media coordinator as part of this event planning business, and he uses selfies and pictures that he takes of himself to kind of describe what he looks like, which is a fun way to get to know him.
Yeah, I liked it too. It was because sometimes you'll read, or I'll read a book and she'll be like, if it's a main character, I was brushing my long blonde hair, looking at my green eyes in the mirror. I'm like, all right.
Whereas he's more like, oh, I like how the lighting came across, and I didn't mean for this to be a thirst trap, but look at that. You can see some water dripping down.
Oh, I was shirtless and wet. I didn't think it would be a thirst trap.
I just got out of the shower.
You guys, knock it off. So he has rich brown skin. He's shorter. He's 5'9". He has textured sponge curls and small dimples.
Small dimples.
And he is a player when we talk about the personalities. We'll get to that too.
Right. So Braylon, on the other side of things, he also has curly hair, dark hair. He's got brown eyes. And multiple times, the way that Denz describes him is honey brown skin. And then he also likes to describe how good he smells.
Yeah, he really likes how he smells.
He smelled like coconut body wash in college, and now he's got this more sophisticated kind of cardamom spice profile going on.
It's called pheromones, honey.
Yeah.
And he has ridiculously defined cheekbones and a sharp jaw, and Bray often has like a stubble. So he's not broody, but he is a quieter, more internal man than the one Denz remembers, who broke his heart however many years ago. And so he's kind of this like bigger, quieter, but sexier. Denz is not stoked because the first time they run into each other, it's at a coffee shop, and he hears someone getting Bray's order, and he's like, "Duh!" and he's all hungover, and he's in a bad
mismatched socks.
Yeah, and like when you have this like person who broke your heart, you have the vision of what it will look like when you see them. You're on stage getting the Grammy, and they're like the lighting person or something. And this was not the moment for him.
But I could tell in Meet Cute from Bray's reaction, even though we never had Bray's point of view, that he did not think that Denzel looked like a slob and was noticing all these flaws.
No. Because
he kind of stutters a little bit, and he starts to say, "You look," and then he gets cut off. And in Denz's mind, he's thinking, "Oh, what was he going to say? I look like, my house caught on fire and I came running out." And no, he was going to say, "You look amazing.
You look like I want to have sex with you.
Mm-hmm. You look like I'd be willing to fake date you just so that I could spend some time with you."
A blowjob. Well, which he does. So yeah, I think too, it's kind of how Julian Winters uses the like external interactions for us to see how jangled up Denz is as far as his self-perception. Like, unless he's perfect, he's not okay, and it's not appropriate for people to see him. He's not good enough if he's not.
And even when he is really nailing things, he still feels like he's not good enough.
Yeah.
He has got some self-esteem issues.
He's got imposter and very much like daddy issues.
Yes.
He wants his daddy to be like stamp of approval, and that's just not his dad's way.
No, he's desperate for any kind of scrap of approval. And at one point his dad does call him into office and say, "Oh, son, like, you did a good job. The numbers look good. We got a feature story in this magazine." But then the very next thing out of his mouth is, "And this is how you screwed up." So Denz he can't get the approval that he's craving from his dad, so he's always feeling very low self-esteem, like he can't do this, he's not going to be able to take over. His dad's retiring, he's not going to be as good, he has to live up to this name. And Bray is the one that slowly gets him to see, "Oh, you're really good how you are." And this whole book, family was a big theme. He's got a big family. They showed up, like you said, they were text messages from the whole family. They had some scenes like in the kitchen with everybody standing around eating pie. All the elements of a warm, supportive family. But they were all dickbags to him.
Yeah, they treated him like he was the punchline of the joke a lot.
Yeah, and so part of me just kind of wanted him to ditch his family. I mean, they did love him, certainly, but they also mistreated him.
They did, and it was like he kept wanting them to say you're okay, and then he would be okay, and then they would approve of him. But he kind of learned over the book of like, I just have to like myself, and then they're going to treat me different. But
Right.
He was like, "Can you please treat me different? Because it'd make me feel better." And they're like,
No. So that's why he even does the fake dating. So many times in the fake dating trope, there's a very tangible, oh, you have to be with somebody or else you're not going to get this money. It was more just that his family didn't respect him and they kept calling him unserious, and they kept kind of talking about how, well, you just like to have fun, sort of treating him like a little kid. And he thought, oh, I know how to make them think that I'm a legitimate, serious adult. I'm going to pretend I'm dating someone.
Yeah, and the reason he throws himself into this, and the reason why people don't really take him seriously, is because he runs into Bray at the coffee shop, which I love this play too, because the barista's giving them both their drinks and makes a snide comment to Denz about, "Oh, after we hooked up or I got that blowjob and then you never called me." And so it's like, what a way to run into your ex that broke your heart, and you're like, oh, so awkward. So he goes from that. It's not right from there with the scene about the dad stepping down.
Yeah, just like he gets back to work after this coffee shop encounter, and his dad says, "Well, I'm going to retire. Yeah. And if anybody wants to be CEO, throw your hat into the ring, and then we're going to have this really public, multi-month-long gladiator battle to see who gets to win."
Pit the children against
So
each
he and
other.
his sister are both like, yeah, we'll try, we'll do it.
Yeah, and he doesn't even really want this job, and also he kind of isn't cut out for it, but he feels all this sense of like, no one believes in me, I'm going to show them, I'm very impulsive, I'm in it too. So he makes a pretty like unclever decision. So then, of course, he has to prove he's serious by having a boyfriend. He's going to fake date his friend.
Yeah, so what we liked about this book, we've got the tropes that we mentioned before, tropes that we've all heard of and seen before.
We know and love fake dating.
But they were kind of presented in a different way. So I haven't read a second chance fake dating combination.
I hadn't either.
And then also the way the fake dating gets introduced in this book, initially he agrees to fake date his roommate, who's his best friend, who's just like ride or die, like, okay, if that's what you need, I'll help you. And
totally the fake out, like the pick and roll. I'm going this way, just kidding.
And so I was really wondering, like, what direction is this book going in? Because clearly from the meet cute, he's got the hots for his ex-boyfriend, but yet he is establishing a fake dating, and he even introduced him as his boyfriend, as one of the people in his family. And then it's kind of this about face, because his roommate gets cold feet and says, I can't do this, I can't lie to your family, I changed my mind. And right in that moment, the pressure's on, and he once again kind of bumps into Bray, his ex.
Yeah, like literal the run in again, which is such. There's always like a physical hit.
Yeah,
in
they
some way.
bump into each other. Sort of feel the.
That's how they met at the party too.
And
you're
right.
On him.
Yes, you know what I noticed in this book? Denz is so clumsy. Mm-hmm. Oh my gosh, he kept spilling drinks. He spilled multiple drinks on Bray. Really? The first time he met Bray's dad, he spilled his coffee everywhere.
Oh, yeah.
When they were at their meet cute, as he was walking out of the coffee shop, he like stumbled into a display of water bottles and like sent bottles everywhere. He was multiple scenes. He's trying to make a grilled cheese sandwich. This is a part of their relationship that Bray can cook and Denz can't. And he just repeatedly kept flipping it right onto the floor, which I sometimes struggle flipping things, but it doesn't usually end up with floor food.
Yeah,
you
do it once and then you stop trying to do the cocktail flip.
Right. You just get a spatula like an adult.
You just get it.
So yeah, he's got a bit of the clumsies, but I guess that's what makes him so charming.
Yeah. So it's the second chance, fake dating. He has another person lined up to be his fake datee. This person bails. All of a sudden, Bray is there to ask him for a favor to support his nonprofit. And the parents pull up. It's the moment of tension. And he grabs Bray and says, you got to be my boyfriend.
Be my boyfriend. There's no explanation, and Bray is just, he's in it. He's like, okay. We'll figure this out later. I'll talk later, because they don't even have time to discuss it.
Yeah, and he just rolls with it.
And Bray he's got game. He's a smooth talker.
He is a smooth talker.
Just the whole time, he's just talking it up with Denz's parents. And of course, they hate him because
they broke his son's heart.
Is an established person in Denz's life. He's the guy that they were in love together, and then he just left and he moved to London. And the way Denz described it, he kind of ghosted him a little bit. Like he knew he was leaving, but he just left and never...
I don't know if this had a resolution, but Denz alluded to Bray's father, like saying something to him.
Yes.
And then it was something about, I don't know, so it felt like...
The father was kind of pulling the strings, and Bray was the marionette. And the father said, you need to...
Like, let him have a life without
improve your own prospects. Don't get tied behind just because you fell in love with somebody in college. Like, go to London. This is an important job for you. And so we just took off.
Yeah. So
Bray has a hole to climb out of, because that's the impression that everybody in Denz's family has of him. And now all of a sudden he's just back as a fake boyfriend.
Holly, so what's the steam? We didn't tell you in the intro.
There are some explicit sex scenes, but not too many, and it's not super drawn out. So I would probably call it a 3 on the spice and maybe a 2 on the frequency.
Yeah, it's like you're in the room if it's a movie and there's the sheer curtain and you can see them moving behind it. So we read the descriptions, but there's not any of these kind of like real grabby words like cock or pussy. Well, definitely no pussy.
That would be harder to come by in this particular book.
No, wrong book. But they do have sex in like one of their first moments of present day intimacy. There's a blowjob, but it happens pretty quick. And it's well written. Like I felt into it, but it wasn't this like fully lost in the moment. So if you like spice but don't like it to be too drenched in steam,
this is a good bold word choice.
There's a lot there.
So, and it's also a slow burn, like we said. So the first sex scene is about halfway through the book, and that's the blowjob in the kitchen.
Yeah, and it is not far after the first kiss, so that kind of like sets things in motion. But there's definitely the like tension and chemistry, and
then they have a 1-bed hotel room full sex scene. But again, it's not too long. It's mostly about the emotional starts and stops that Denz is having as he's trying to figure out what comes next.
Yeah, and they also have a really clear talk about safe sex. So if that's something that you enjoy in a book, it was well done, I thought. It wasn't like clunky. It was like
Well, it was even a plot device, or not. It was a way to show into Denz's character, because they get to the hotel. They weren't expecting to have a hotel. And he runs down to the gift shop and buys some condoms and lube. And then is kind of all in his head, oh, why did I do that? And he steps into the bathroom for a minute, and then Bray sees the bag. And so it's a like tangible reminder of their awkwardness and them needing to talk these things through. And it's not just an aside that was kind of awkward to read about. It was more a chance for them to discuss their boundaries.
Yeah, like, oh, I'm on prep. Oh, I have been tested. And Bray hasn't had sex, quote, pause, in a long time. And then Denz is like, oh.
Maybe we should go ahead and use those condoms.
Yeah, and Denz, that's part of his whole personality, is this, like, he has a lot of hookups because I think he doesn't kind of know who he is, but also his heart's still.
Yeah, I read more. The read I got from his character was the reason he just has hookups, he never goes on a second date, he never puts a guy's phone number in his phone, is because he got his heart broken so badly by Bray, and he doesn't want to let anyone in.
Man, heartbreak's a real stinker. It's like an actual sickness. You just get walloped.
Yes.
And conversely, Bray has his own abandonment from his mom dying when he was younger and then his dad dying. And Denz is asking, well, who came to your dad's funeral? And this many, 0 people came for Bray.
To support Bray. I mean, there were people there at the funeral, but not really for his sake.
Yeah, and he's like, I have no one. And it's not this kind of self-pity, sad kitten thing. It's more just like, yeah. And so Bray has kind of his own walls up against intimacy. And then as does Denz so it's like abandonment for different reasons. And they kind of get to come together and trust each other.
And it's clear that they both are still in love with each other from the first go around.
Probably not the
I don't know if those two would be singing Shania Twain to each other.
Just missing it.
But
all the marks.
Well, maybe 25-year-olds
who
are into that. I mean,
we don't know.
My 6-year-old was singing the Macarena.
Hey.
And also Who Let the Dogs Out. Oh. That is still holding strong in the entire kindergarten class in 2026.
Wow.
Isn't that really surprising?
That is very surprising.
When I was listening to songs 20 years ago, that's not one that I pegged as being a long laster.
No. Wow.
So go Baha Men.
Yeah. I didn't even know who sang it. You do,
yeah,
because you probably have to listen to it.
I do.
Oh, that's no fun. Julian Winters, the author, wrote some really fun side characters that helped set the scene and also showcase their personalities, especially Denz's. So like the aunties, the sister.
I love a good sibling relationship.
Yeah.
And he had a real good one with his sister Cammie, because sometimes especially if you have like rivals to lovers types books, there's a lot of witty, sarcastic, almost biting banter and humor. And there was a little bit of
it provided the knifey little edge.
Right, that Bray and Denz kind of would dish it out just a tiny bit to each other, but mostly that itch was scratched between Denz and his sister Cammie. And it was clearly a very loving, supportive relationship, but with that sibling current that runs through where they just would come into a room and be like, what are you losers doing?
Yeah.
And then like give him a hug because she loves him. And I really enjoyed
chocolate and leave.
Oh yeah.
Like the first moment we see Cammie, Denz is running up, he's late and he's wearing what he thinks is a fine outfit, and Cammie goes, well, how come you're dressed like gay Carlton from A Fresh Prince of Bel-Air? You know, just kind of like making fun of his outfit. And also, I know we're not supposed to assume, but I had definitely assumed everyone knew that Carlton was gay. Maybe he's not. I don't know.
Gay Carlton is like
it's just a double down.
Superfluous way to describe him.
Hot sun. We don't know. Anyways, that's the kind of like sibling poking, you know. So then he's like, "What do you mean
my sweater vest?
My sweater looks good." But then he starts thinking about his sweater vest. So it was fun. And then they love each other, but also...
Well, they're also in competition, and that's what the dad pitted them against each other.
Gladiator.
Goes back to that kind of toxic, uncomfortable family relationships.
Yeah, I never had that of the parent who makes the kids compete against each other for attention or love or resources. It's effed up.
There was a kind of humanizing scene with his dad at the end where he's broken because once again Braylon is moving away. This is towards the end of the book because Braylon got a promotion and they're starting up a new LGBTQ youth center, but across the country. So Braylon is moving and Denz is just like a weepy mess, and he finally has the courage, I guess, because he's no longer trying to be the man that he thinks his dad wants him to be. He's just so far off his reality right now that he opens up and he's honest for once. And he says to his dad, why did you pit us against each other? And the dad does he has some reasons. He's saying, well, everybody's going to give you a hard time. Place. The world's a hard place, especially since you're a black man. You're going to have to prove yourself and work twice as hard as anyone else.
Yeah.
And I was just trying to see, basically, the reason, so the dad ends up giving the CEO job to Cammie, the sister. Denz does not get the job. He says, the reason I did it is because when shit hit the fan and we had to come in and work late, you dropped everything you did and you came and you were a rock star and you worked so well. But your sister had the presence of mind to say, well, my son is sick and my boyfriend is going to watch him and this, that, and the other. So I'm just going to delegate and send someone else because I just have some family obligations and I can't drop everything just for the sake of this business. And the dad, that's what he wanted to see because he says to his son, I have all this regret. I was a workaholic. I didn't treat your mom right. I don't want you to turn into me. Yeah, it really is. I don't want you to become me and just give everything to this company and lose yourself in the process. And your sister was the one that was able to not lose herself in the job.
That was very highly mixed messaging.
It was the exact opposite of everything they were saying to him the whole time.
Yeah, I'm pushing you to make you prove yourself, but once you don't.
But if you prove yourself too much.
Yeah.
Nope.
You did too good, son.
Yeah.
Go back to the starting line. But I kind of liked it in that the hero didn't get the thing through that he was fight. That's the device through the whole book is this building tension of competition, parent, who's going to win, and he doesn't get it, which I kind of love.
I like that too.
Yeah, and so, but he gets what he needs and what he really wants.
You're talking about the dick?
Talking about the love.
Okay, Braylon, the love. So they do end up together
in California.
In California. So Braylon does move for this job. And then Denz, since he no longer has the CEO job in mind, and he just has this major realization and says, screw it, I'm not working for my family's company anymore. I'm going to really lean into the social media stuff that I'm really good at. And he starts his own consulting and moves out to Santa Monica. And it is a happily ever after.
Guess what? That's why we like it. That's why we liked it. So it's really sweet. It's a great rom-com. Good family dynamics. Great character growth of someone kind of unsure of themselves and then stepping into their own and not chasing the big fancy prize, but going for the love.
And if you like a single point of view, I think this is a good one in that we see in depth Denz's thought process, but we're able to infer a lot of what Bray is thinking through his actions.
Yeah, it's well done in that way. Sometimes it's kind of a mystery how other people are viewing the Denz or what they're feeling. So thank you for joining us.
We will see you next week.
Yeah, and Sophie the dog stayed the whole show. I think this might be a record.
She did. She looks a little low on energy right now.
That's how we like it.
We'll take that to our advantage.
Thanks for joining us.
Okay, goodbye, everyone.
Bye.